with Mac in Juvenile Hall. When I was with Mac in Juvenile Hall, when you in Juvenile, your status is like a color coding. If you're brown, I can tell it's your first time. If you're blue, it's your third time. If you're green, you've been here a lot of times. Mac been locked up, I said 54 times by 24 years old. Jesus. Jailbird. He never had a fight, man. He ain't had no fight. He just look at him and say he gangster. But I meet Mac. We bomb. I got plays for him in Carol City. He say call Chubb. When I get out, I go do that. I'm fond because we're speaking Creole amongst the Americans with 13 years old in Juvenile Hall. Cool. I'm fond of it. And he got that color coding. And so I'm like, damn, boy, how you got that color?
In a video published on December 28, 2024 on the Tippy Toe podcast, Maurice Adam would speak about a host of things, including meeting Mac-A-Zoe in the juvenile system, linking up with Chubbs after lockup to navigate the boat robberies at the port, to Zoe Pound becoming a headache, and how he couldn't wait to get rid of Mac-A-Zoe.
He like, boy, you know, he Jamaican, I'm Haitian. He like, boy, let's do the record label. I say, man, I don't want to fuck with Toro. I've been doing this shit with Zoe Pound, but I'm getting a headache.
Why you getting a headache?
I can't wait to throw that runner on the road, Macazo. Get the fuck off.
Why you say it was a headache?
Cause my nigga, man, he ain't got his pistol out. He ain't doing nothing but robbing some old Haitians, acting like he doing something and I ain't really respecting it. I'm just like, you making noise, I can negotiate it better. I'm saying, nah, there's only one person that can compete. That's Drew, the kid. No one else. All of them is, man, it was runners. I don't want to do them like that, but I got to right now. Begging for a run.
All right, peace. You already know where you at and who you rocking with, right? Right. So let's get to that thing. Yo, it is my opinion that Maurice Adam is mixing all of his feelings and emotion for Mac-A-Zoe. All in the one pot when he doing these interviews, because some of the stuff he says, at least the way it comes across, it doesn't make sense until you analyze it. And if you don't analyze it, it just seems like he talking in circles. You know what I'm saying? Tippy Toe again. We're on the Tippy Toe podcast. It's like a 9-10 minute clip or whatnot. But, you know, the link to the full interview is in the description box. You can go and check it out for yourself. A couple points that I wanted to touch on, though, from that, and the clips that you saw ahead of this, was Tippy Toe asked Maurice Adam how he met Mac-A-Zoe, being that he was from Carol City and everything. To which Maurice Adam replies, I was in Juvenile Hall with Mac. When you're in Juvenile, your status is color-coded. If you're brown, it's your first time. If you're blue, it's your third time. If you're green, you've been here a lot of times. Mac been locked up 54 times by 24. Jesus, jailbird, shots fired. The nigga never had a fight. They just look at him and say he gangster, but I met him and we bonded. Now, do that make sense? Let me finish the statement. I got plays for him in Carol City. He say call Chubbs. When I get out, I do that. I'm fond of him because we speak in Creole amongst the Americans. And he got that color code. So I'm like, boy, how you get that color code? Now, if he a punk, if you just look at him and say he gangster, he ain't never had a fight and this and that and the other. Mind you, they met at 13 according to Maurice. You meet at 13, and first and foremost, let me say this. If he met Mac-A-Zoe under whatever circumstances at the age of 13, and then linked up with the gang, Chubbs and everybody else, and began to commit nefarious acts with the gang, then it should be no problem with him laying claim to the gang that he put in work for and with. You feel me? So that's another thing. He ain't an original founder or this and that and the other. Okay, we went through that. He wasn't the founder. He's not the founder. But you can't take his part in that movement away for whatever reason they trying to. You feel me? That's crazy. But back to what I was saying, yo. He talking about Mac-A-Zoe ain't never had a fight. They just look at him and say he gangster. Number one, I don't believe he ain't had no fights. You know, you probably ain't never seen him fight or whatnot, but they just look at him and say he gangster. Those are some emotions and feelings that he probably had at first glance, and then the color code probably intrigued him. Like what? Like he said, you know, boy, how you get that color code? He been locked up this amount of times, that amount of times, you know what I'm saying, to have that coloring on or what have you. And he's speaking Creole. He let on that I'm fond of him because we speak in Creole amongst the Americans. See, he says things, they're out of order. You feel me? It's out of order the way he speaks. So you got to arrange that shit the right way. Like, it should come off, I got five many men in Juvenile Hall. I got fond of him because we were speaking Creole amongst the Americans. I asked him about the color code he had on. He let me know and then told me to get with Chubbs. When I got out, I did that. We began to doing this and that and the other. You feel me? But he says things in such an order to where sometimes it just don't make sense. You feel me? Maurice Adam, like I said before, is fusing a lot of his emotions together when it comes to Mac-A-Zoe. You know, he feels some type of way about their relationship as of late, and he felt some type of way about their relationship early on or whatnot. So he mixing all that together with the gangster, and he ain't a gangster and this and that and the other. I do believe he was a runner, as he said. I do believe that, because asking him about the color code is kind of figuring out how he could use him. Now, I don't know if his mind was that advanced at 13. It may have been. You know what I mean? But, you know, asking him, how you get that color code? Why you da-da-da-da-da? That's a career criminal, is what Mac-A-Zoe is at that point. He's a career criminal. You know, by however means you want to look at it. Not necessarily a gangster. A career criminal, though. You know what I mean? Let me see. Shout out to the notes, because you know I got them. He said all the boat robberies and boat trips was his. He said they had one or two plays, and if they did that, and then they went to jail. They wasn't out long enough to have it. He said he done that for about a 6-year run or whatnot. Now, I can't confirm or deny that those accounts. How long he ran the port of Miami or nothing like that. You feel me? If you think he capping, you get in the comment box and you let me know. But next he said, Toro wanted to be his artist, said, let me sign you. It made him start a label with a dude named Rollo from the Dark Side. He says is a monster that was doing 200 bricks a day. He said he can vouch for that himself. You know what I'm saying? He said the dude was a Jamaican, he's a Haitian. And he said, let's start a record label. And he said, cool, I've been doing this with Zopound, but I'm beginning to get a headache. I can't wait to throw that runner, Mac-A-Zoe, back on the road. Get the fuck on. So Tippy Toe asked him, why you getting a headache? What you mean? He says, he got his pistol out. He ain't doing nothing. He got his pistol out, robbing old Haitians, acting like he doing something, and I ain't really respecting it. I don't respect that neither. And I wouldn't respect that. He said he was drawing attention. Basically, what I'm getting from Maurice Adam is Mac-A-Zoe and Solo was in the way. He said Solo came out after he got out. He gave him some money, this and that and the other. He assembled a team of 20, 30 niggas is what Maurice called them or whatnot. He told them, nah, don't do it like that. We doing it different. Blase, split, whoop, whoop. But he wasn't listening. He was in the way. A runner begging for a run. You know what I'm saying? He said basically Mac-A-Zoe was the same way. He said all them was runners begging for a run. He couldn't wait to throw him back on the road and get him out of his way. The Zopound, at least record label industry part of it, was beginning to become a headache for him. Likely because he was responsible for it financially in ways others wasn't. and probably other ways. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, just some interesting things he said. Man, you don't bond with a lame. You know, when he said that, you know, then I met Mac-A-Zoe, we bond. How you bond with a lame, a punk, a nigga that ain't never had a fight? They just look at him and say he gangster. That's a nigga you test. You feel me? Where I'm from, if a nigga, you know, claiming to be gangster, this and that and the other, and you looking at him the way Ali Zoe said, people was looking at him like, you know, he must be a gangster or this and that and the other. That's a nigga you test. It ain't a nigga you befriend. So like I said, some of the things he say don't make sense. He talking in riddles, and you got to rearrange the sentences sometime to get a clear meaning of what he's saying, in my opinion, man. You let me know what you feel about the situation. I'll be back with more. I got a little bit more to say about it, you know. Peace to the 5% nation of gods and earths. Until we meet again. I'll be back.